We originally engaged Matthew because he was one of the highest rated EO presenters across the US especially, and had a really good grounding in Australia, and being originally from Australia, we knew that he would be able to connect with Australian business owners well. It was really clear that he was more interested in the audience and getting the message to be tailored and specific to really hit the mark for them. The pre-event coordination really gave me a lot of enthusiasm to encourage members that this was going to be a highlight for the two-day event. Our crowd is a tough crowd. In an unusual way, they're open and have a strong thirst for learning, which is why they're involved. But they also quickly anticipate that they've heard it all before. He managed to engage the audience really from the first moment that he got on stage. But the thing that was a standout with Matt was that he was more or less swamped at the end of the event, to the extent that people literally missed the bus to go to the next part of our agenda, because they wanted to keep talking to Matt and get more insights, and were just drawn to engage with him afterwards. A presenter being mobbed by a little swarm of bees that are hard to please in the first place is what really gave me confidence that we'd nailed it straight away. And one of the really great things was he invited a couple of people from the audience to give an example of how they currently communicate. So he puts himself on the spot in a very, very public and high pressure way to recast their story in a way that he believed would be more impactful and more client focused. And his ability to craft those messages on the fly and watch him recast a value proposition into an engaging emotional client story was a really powerful part of the learning for everybody. And for me, it helped me reframe what I was doing. I speak at about 15 events a year with audience of 1 to 200 people most commonly, and I always get really good feedback, and people really enjoy the presentations that I do. But I took Matt's recommendations, or the insights that I gained from Matt, and repurposed what I did into storytelling. The golden rule is to expect that there's only 2 or 3% of people in the room that are currently looking to buy or engage. I normally get about the average stat, right? So I talk to a room of 100 people and I get 3 or 4 people come up and they're ready to actively engage there and then. In the first presentation that I did, implementing what I'd learned from Matt, I got 33 people instead of 3 or 4. So I found myself with a 10 times increase by storytelling and implementing what I was inspired from with Matt's presentation and different approach. So it's been very impactful for me. And it was funny, actually, there's a very big company in Australia that was at a presentation I did in Melbourne recently. And one of my staff members just today shared with me a story. They were like, oh, I saw Paul speak at the leaders conference in Melbourne, and I was a bit embarrassed to go up and talk to him because he was almost like the celebrity, and so I didn't know what to ask, and so they went via the salesperson instead, that they already knew back in the office, to set up an appointment to pursue the opportunity, because they were too taken aback by the style and quality of the presentation. It's funny to see that approach creates an aura and a lure, instead of coming across like you're trying to position something to sell. So it gives a really distinct credibility and prestige whilst delivering a sales message. So it's been very powerful and impactful for me. Talking to people during the event and after the event and saying what was the most impactful part for you, many of them chose Matt as the person that was the biggest impact and the most engaging, and really had most of the takeaways for them to go and implement, just like I did. Next time I'm looking for a speaker to help inspire and improve the communication that my team has with our clients or our prospective clients, I would most certainly look at getting Matt in again to work with my sales or marketing team, and would most highly recommend him to people wanting to put together a high quality event that want to, with an audience that is focused on improving their communication with their clients and growing their business.